Hello traders, this is a update of my SPXL day trading plan results as of April 29th, 2023. This thing is green overall and it's green on the year, and I'll show you all those results. And what we're looking at right now is our year-to-date cumulative P&L, which may not seem that impressive, but keep in mind this is a small account and we're only trading with 1/3 of the account size. I'll get into that in more detail in a moment. But the main thing is when you have a trading plan, first you have to back test it. We did that. We back tested it starting in 2022 all the way up to May 25th of 2022. We found it was profitable even though the market was in a huge downturn. I'll show you that on a chart in just a moment. Then we started forward testing it from May 25th up until we collected 100 trades of data. You'll see that on my spreadsheet. We proved that it was profitable after 100 trades, and now we are trading it with 1/3 of our account size, even though this is a small account. So that's why the profits aren't that impressive. But what you want is to prove something profitable and then slowly increase your account size and your position size. And that's what I've been doing all along. This is just where I'm at right now. Once we hit May 25th, which will mark 1 full year of trading this trading plan, and we see that this thing is still profitable, I will increase the account size considerably. As far as I'm concerned, it's going to basically double my position size. So that's a 100% increase in risk. That is a considerable increase, even though you may think, well, why aren't you, just dumping $10,000 or $25,000 into this account? You've proven this thing profitable. I am not comfortable with that at all. I think that's kind of a gambler's mindset, a lottery player's mindset, and I don't think that's what trading and investing should be. That's just my personal opinion. You can do whatever you want with your money. But I'm here to advise you that is not, and I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm a reasonable man and I am a physicist. So I think like a scientist and a statistician, and I think that statistically speaking, mathematically speaking, it makes sense to ease into something as you collect more data and continue to prove your assumptions are correct. So that's what we're doing. You can see here that we have only traded SPXL since the beginning of the year. I have this set to year to date, and you can see that the only product we've been trading is SPXL. What is SPXL? It is a 3x leveraged ETF that tracks the S&P 500. Let's look at the chart right now. So this is the daily chart. These are all my April trades. You'll see that those match with my spreadsheet that I'm going to show you in just a moment. If you pull up any S&P 500 chart, whether it be SPX or SPY, which is another ETF of the S&P 500, you'll see that the price action is nearly identical. It's identical enough that if you come up with a plan that works with the S&P 500, it will work with SPXL and vice versa. Why do I trade SPXL and not any other ETF or S&P 500 directly? It's because the price per share is low, and SPXL is a 3x leveraged ETF, which means that if the S&P 500 goes up 1%, we make 3%. But likewise, if the S&P 500 goes down 1%, we lose 3%. So you need to be sure that what you're doing actually works in the long run, because if it does, you can withstand those 3% drops because you're going to have more of those 3% gains than the 3% drops. So anyway, the other highlights of this trading plan, and let me just say before we get too far, is that I will put a link in the description directly to where you can get this trading plan. It is available on patreon.com/tradingarmor, and I've heard from other patrons that it's not that easy to find, so I will have a direct link to it. But you can also search SPXL and you'll see all the posts dealing with SPXL. So here's the spreadsheet that I made, that if you are trading this plan, you can track your trades. As I strongly suggest that you do, don't just take my word for it that this thing works. Take one single share trades for 100 trades, track your trades on the spreadsheet, see if you can make it work for you. And then here are some specific videos or videos dealing with specific scenarios on how to trade the SPXL day trading plan. And this is the most important thing. The SPXL day trading plan itself, there's a PDF of it. And if you have any questions about any of this stuff, you can always comment either on Patreon or you can comment directly to this video and I will get back to you. So that's all the information on how to get the trading plan and learn about it. But if you're not interested in that, that's totally fine. You can watch this video and I'm sure you'll still get a lot of information out of it. So let's take an overview look at this area here on the daily chart, this is where I back tested this trading plan, and you'll notice that the price action is in an overall downtrend. And what's interesting about this trading plan is that it only takes long biased trades. So that means that we take positions, and I would suggest that you ignore these trades in here that I took, because I was back testing during this period, but I was also taking trades kind of randomly with other things that I was testing. But starting with this green line, this is where the SPXL trading plan was enacted, and that is what all these trades are. And then this is our year to date right here, this area right here. But anyway, we back tested it during a downtrend. We found out, according to our back tested results, that this thing was still profitable even though it's long biased. That's what made me decide to continue taking trades with it and enact the SPXL trading plan. So these are real money trades in here, and as well as year-to-date trades. And let's take a look at the spreadsheet right now, and we can see first our overall results. Here you can see how I break up my account into its 1/3 position size. I type it, and this is all on that spreadsheet, by the way, that's at patreon.com. So I just type in my account size, and I decide, what portion of my account. 1/3 is very important, because if I trade any more than that, I will not be able to take trades every single day, and there are consecutive days where I'm triggered to take trades. I put in the price per share, and it tells me how many shares to buy. When I increase the account size, that number will go up. So let's say, for example, we bring the account up to $2,500. You'll see it tells me, okay, now I can buy 10 shares. Let me undo that. And the interesting thing is, my goal when I first started trading this was, can we get to 100 trades and be profitable? And we did. The sum of the first 100 trades will be the sum of these two numbers, which is no longer visible right here, but you can imagine it's somewhere around $10, which that was enough for me to continue to trade this thing, even though you can see our second group of 50 trades was negative. We lost a little bit of money there, but still there was enough data to tell me that this thing still could be profitable long term. And if you look at our year to date from trade 81 to 120, actually that should be 122. I need to update that. We're up almost $9, and our P&L of trade number 101 to 123, so this is kind of tracking the next set of 50 trades, is also green, up over $5. That's per share. And I think it's really important to track your per share statistics, so that if your position size changes, as mine does here, that you don't see the influence of the change of that position size. You just see, is this plan itself profitable? Is just taking one single share trades going to be profitable with this trading plan? If it is, then this part here shouldn't have a negative effect on on your results. We've been trading this thing for 230 trading days now. We have been triggered into 123 trades. All of the trades are triggered automatically. My orders are placed the night before, and whether or not the trade gets triggered or not, I have no control over. It depends on the price action. I'll get an alert on my phone. When I do that, I set an alarm on my phone to remind me to close out the trade at the end of the day. Again, all these instructions are in the trading plan. And the last resort is closing out the trade before the extended hours close. That's like, let's say I'm not available to close it. But if I'm available to close the trade right at the close, I always do that. That's just a good thing to do, good habit to get into. And our win rate is 57%, almost 58%, which is lower than our back-tested win rate, but doesn't really matter. And I'll show you why as we continue to go. Here's our wins and losses. Average cost per share, $71.53. And based on that, our ROI is 20.5% overall, and that's huge. And also, this reminds me, I made a mistake on my Patreon post. I think I said year to date we're up 14%, but it looks like we're actually up almost 13%, so not quite 14, but we're still doing very well year to date. So that's a mistake. I'll have to amend that on Patreon. Just wanted to say that while I was thinking about it. Here's our average loser and our average winner. Now, this doesn't look so good, but again, we're well above 50% win rate, so that's why we're still profitable. And our average P&L per share is, and per trade, so per share, per trade, is 9 cents. That sounds like a small number. If you go to Warrior Trading and search his videos, there was a recent video that he made where he talks about his P&L per share, and it was around 10 cents per share. Not to say there's any other similarities with my trading and his trading or the results or anything like that, but I just thought that was interesting because I'm sure that people will look at that and say, well, that's not very good. But this considers all the losers as well. So that's why that number there, you can see that this has every single cell, P&L cell that we have traded. If I click on here, you'll see it takes into account all of the data. So this is the P&L where the P&L data is collected, and you can see every single cell, unless I missed one, which I don't think I did. I check this pretty regularly. Every single P&L cell. Oh, there is one that's missed in there, and it's -9 cents, so that will reduce that. Probably not change that number. Actually, let's put it in right now while I'm thinking about it. H245, there's so much data in here that it's not going to change that number. I almost guarantee it. Let's put it in right now. H245. Whoops. It shouldn't matter that this is out of order. Let's go back up, and we can see that it's still exactly the same. So that proves a point there, I hope. And let's just go back through, make sure that we haven't missed any other cells. We were at 245. This is just showing you, my data is all calculated by the spreadsheet. It's not numbers that I'm putting in. Oh, and I didn't include the last two winners. This could have an effect. So I closed out these trades yesterday, and it was a very busy time. So some of this stuff, I thought I'd put all this data in, but I'm having to do it live here now. So bear with me. We got H349 and H350. And again, oh, actually that didn't make, so why did that change that number and the previous one didn't? Because the loser that we added in was only a 9-cent loser, and those two winners that we added in were considerably large, $2.25 and $1.71, and you can see that our average winner is $1.46. So that may change this data if all of this is updated. I'm not sure. I may have to go through that. I'm not going to do that all right now. Those numbers look like they're in there, so that should be correct. Sorry about that. There's a lot going on here, and I'm trying to give you all of the information as accurately as possible. One thing I want to do, I kind of ruined it because I gave away the surprise here. You can see that we did end up slightly green. Again, this data is collecting the P&L per share, so that's 16 cents per share. Multiply that by 10 shares, 100 shares, 1,000 shares. You can see that number can be impactful. But what's more impactful is, let's take away all of April for just a moment here, and let's see how important it is to trust your trading plan once you have some sort of track record and you can prove that the trading plan is profitable. You can see that after our first trade in April, we had 58 cents per share profit. That's a great start to the month. But immediately after that, we lost all that and then some with our next trade. So let's see what happens now when we go to all the way to trade number 9 of the month. So this is almost the entire month. And let's see where our P&L was. We were down $3.80 per share. Again, that's a very considerable number. Multiply that by 10, 100, 1,000 shares, and you can see the effect that can have. But because I have proven data that I've collected myself with a trading plan that I've written myself, this is not a brag, I'm just trying to explain the importance of these concepts, that I was able to continue to trade this thing. And you can see the proof of that. Again, if you zoom in here on my April trades, let's see, where does April start? Right here. These are all the exact same trades that you see on my spreadsheet. As I scroll through them, you can see the date flash down below. You can check that these are those trades. You can even calculate those last two trades to see that the P&L matches. And because we stuck with the plan and we had data that we can trust, we had statistics that we could trust, I just kept doing the same thing, and we ended up green overall on the month, and that's huge. That's not going to happen every time. If I scroll up through the data, you can see we have some red months, but the lesson there is that, look at this, huge red month in December. The lesson there is, and our whole quarter 4 was red, but overall 2022, we were green. The lesson here is that you want to keep doing what your data tells you you should be doing. And despite all of these red months that we have and occasional red quarters, you can see that we're green overall. This is our total P&L, our year-to-date P&L, even better as far as how we're doing this year compared to last year. Because the market was so choppy last year, the plan did not always align so well with the market. There were periods where, excuse me, or we had considerable losses like this area right here of the P&L curve, would make you think that this plan doesn't work. But look at where we are right now. We're heading back to our year-to-date all-time highs, and we're not too far away from our all-time highs. So we have the data that tells us to keep trading this thing because it works overall. Again, you have periods where they're going to be red. Just keep doing it, keep collecting the data until, if I had longer periods where it was red, let's say that every single one of these boxes were red after the first 50 trades, then I might have to rethink things, but that's not the case. We're up over 20.5% right now. In the year, we're up almost 13%. So all signs point to yes, all signs point to keep continuing to trade this plan the way it is. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. There's probably a lot of details that I'm not able to include in every video, but leave a comment below and I'll try to get back to you. Again, all the details of this trading plan are available on patreon.com/tradingarmor. So feel free to go there and check that stuff out. It is behind a very minimal paywall of a $10 per month fee. And there's two reasons behind that. One is because obviously I put a lot of time and effort into developing this plan. So I think that's worth something. The other is because I don't want people to just willy-nilly jump into trading this thing, not understand really how it works, and go all in and end up losing money. Because again, as you saw in April, we were red for most of the month. So you can imagine if you thought, hey, this guy sounds like he knows what he's talking about, I'm just going to start setting up trades the way he tells me to and go all in, and then you have 8 or 9 trades that are considerably red and you think, wow, this is nuts. So if you have to pay for something, you're probably going to be a little bit more careful about trading it and make sure that you fully understand things. And then you can also communicate with me through Patreon and I'll answer any questions you have. So there's a lot going on here. Hopefully I got it all in this video, and please let me know in the comment section below if this was helpful to you and what I can do to improve future videos. I'm all about that. And anyway, I just want to share what I learned in my own experience to try to help others to make money in the market in a very safe and comfortable way, long-term way. This is not any sort of a get-rich-quick scheme. You can see that we've only made about $60 this year, but still, we have a very positive result considering our account size and the sort of conservative way of this trading plan. And as we increase our position size, as we increase the account size, these numbers will certainly grow considerably. So stick around and watch that happen for yourself. As always, go into every single trade with a plan, stick to that plan no matter what, always take your stop losses, honor your profit targets, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.